Yes, Sri Krishna. We continue our study of chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita, focusing on verses 11 to 19. In the previous session, Lord Krishna explained how individuals influenced by the three gunas worship and choose their food. This session delves into how they perform yajna and tap. So yajna is sacrifice and tap is austerity. Lord Krishna elaborates on the distinct methods and motivations behind these practices based on the predominance of Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun, the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and mode of ignorance and inertia, respectively. So, here is the detailed explanation. Let's recite the verses and reflect on the meaning and significance of this. Om Sri Bhagwan Vach अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञो विधिदृष्टो य इज्यते यष्टव्यम् एवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः अभिसन्धाय तु फलम् दम्भार्थम् अपि चैव यत् इज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तं यज्ञं विधिराजसम् विधिहीनम् असृष्टाणम् मन्त्रहीनम् मदक्षिणम् श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते. When sacrifice, that is yajna, is performed selflessly, without any desire for personal material gain, and in strict accordance with a scriptural injunction, it is considered to be in the mode of goodness. So for those in Sattvic mode, for Satogunis, the focus is on selfless intent, adherence to proper methodology, and maintaining purity of purpose throughout the process of yajna. A sacrifice carried out with the aim of achieving material benefits or on enhancing one's pride and status is said to be done in the mode of Rajas. Such actions are motivated by self-interest and attachment to outcomes rather than devotion or duty. It's more like business or bargain. So I'm offering this and my expectation in return is this. So this type of yajna is done in the mode of passion by Rajasic people. Sacrifices performed without following prescribed methods, without offering prasadam, that is sanctified food, and without giving dakshina, offering or fees to the priest, are classified as being in the mode of tamas. So these sacrifices are devoid of proper sanctity, often driven by delusion, negligence, and disregard for spiritual principles. Then Lord Krishna says, these three verses very important and having great moral value. Dev Dvij Guru Pragya Pujanam Shauchamarjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsa Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate Anudvegakaram Vakyam Satyam Priyehitam Chayat Swadhyayabhyasanam Chaiva Vangmayam Tapa Uchyate Mana Prasadah Somyatvam Maunamatma Vinigraha Bhava Sanshuddhiri Ityetat Tapo Manasam Uchyate. Now Lord Krishna elaborates on tap, that is austerity. Okay? Categorizing it into three types. That is austerity of body, speech, and mind. So what is austerity of body? What is austerity of speech? And what is austerity of mind? That is talking in these three verses. So verse 14 talks about the austerity of body. Lord Krishna explains that austerity of body involves worshipping the Supreme Lord, showing reverence towards spiritual authorities, maintaining both inner and outer purity, practicing simplicity, and upholding non-violence in thought, word, and deed. So these are the tap of body. These are the austerity of body. In verse 15, he talks about the austerity of a speech. So austerity of a speech means speaking words that are truthful, that are non-agitating, that are pleasing and beneficial to others. Additionally, the regular practice of swadhyaya, that is self-study and recitation of sacred texts, is also part of this discipline. That is tap of speech. In verse 16, he talks about the austerity of mind. It involves cultivating tranquility, maintaining equanimity, practicing silence, exercising self-control, and purifying one's thoughts and emotions. These practices foster inner peace and spiritual clarity. The threefold austerity is a guide to self-discipline, how we can discipline ourselves, to the tap of body, speech, and mind. And that is the purpose of tap. That is the purpose of austerity. Okay. Thereby we gain inner peace and spiritual clarity. Then Lord Krishna further says, Shraddhaya pariyataptam tapasthatrividham narehe अपराकांक्षीभिर्युक्ते सात्विकं परिचक्षते सत्कारमान पूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदहि प्रोक्तं राजसं चलं मध्रुवम् मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्साधनार्थं वा तत् तामसं मुदाहृतम्. Having explained the austerities of body, speech, and mind, Lord Krishna now discusses the underlying faith behind austerity. So, what kind of faith drives different ways of austerity practiced by the people with varying gunas? Okay. So what is Sattvic austerity? Austerity done in the mode of goodness. Sattvic austerity is performed selflessly, aiming for the well-being of their mind and spirit, and for the bigger or larger benefit of the community and humanity. So their practices are free from materialistic desire and are directed towards inner growth and spiritual realization. Rajasic austerity is performed with the intent of gaining honor, recognition, or pride, while outwardly disciplined It looks like, they are doing very good things, but their actions lack a spiritual depth and do not contribute meaningfully to achieving higher spiritual goals. Tamasic austerity is driven by delusion. Tamasic means, in the mode of ignorance and inertia. So the austerities performed by such people is driven by delusion and ignorance. They use self-inflicted torture or extreme measures, often with irrational stubbornness, causing harm to themselves without any constructive purpose. So, this is how Lord Krishna prohibits extreme form of austerity, which many a times it's considered as a means to please the Supreme. It's completely wrong and prohibited in Bhagavad Gita. Anything that hurts your body and the spirit is prohibited by Bhagavad Gita. The God, the Supreme, will never be pleased because of such practices. That's the message Lord Krishna is, giving through the verses in chapter 17. So this is very, very important to understand and, come out of the belief that is there in our society that if we torture our body through fasting, the God will be happy. Many times because of fasting, we see people getting sick, and many times it becomes so severe that they have to go to hospital. So such acts are purely out of ignorance, and it's of tamasic nature, and it must be avoided. So we will look more into the wisdom which lies in chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita in the upcoming session. So keep watching. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Thanks.